pretty brown girl her space. You can keep your bitter. I'ma make a better way. Hey.
So here, part 2, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I'm back with another part to the How to Budget series. Where we left off at, we did the fixed expenses, the variable expenses, the savings goals, giving, and investing in debt. Okay, so now what I want to talk to you guys about is just the showing the big picture on how it all come together. So this is a booklet that I also use. It's just a overview, like a calendar type of thing, just so you can see everything. What I do with this is something that I refer to every day. Even though you have your list in your notebook here, you still have to have it in a monthly kind of spread. And you just basically write all the bills on their due dates, because you're going to look at this every day and track your expenses. And I'm gonna get into that shortly. So you just want to make sure that money is where, like if something's coming out your one of your accounts, you want to make sure money is there, and you can just easily access that by having a monthly view. This is just a little calendar that I got from Walmart or something. It's not a big deal. Don't make it complex. It's just an overview, just a monthly spread. And like I say, it starts July of this year, even though it's April, but I picked up the wrong one because I wanted to pick up a brand new one so I can show you exactly what I do. But all the bills are the same, whatever money it is, okay? All right, so you got that, and this is your list. So now what I want to say, what I want to talk about now is showing the big picture. So every week, even though that was the monthly spread, you want to show a weekly spread. So what I do is have something like this that just can show the week. So depending on how you're paid. So most people are paid every other week or every other 2 weeks or every month. I don't know. But you want to know. So you just do week ending. So each sheet would be the end of the week. So what I do is go from Sunday to beginning of the week. So we're going to start with the previous month. So we're going to say June 30th. This is July. But we're going to start with June 29th because that's that Sunday. So this is going to be all bills that was due between June 29th and that week, that Saturday, July 5th. So why you do this is because looking at from a monthly view, it can get overwhelming and you get lost in the sauce. But you still need to do both. This is your monthly overview. This is your weekly overview, because you want to, sometimes I'm a paycheck to paycheck budgeter. So I do week by week because my husband get paid every week. I get paid every week on some sources. So it's better to kind of take it in increments. So, okay, we look at our month and we say what bills are due between the 29th and July 5th. So in this scenario, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I'm just show you, rent, garage, car wash, Hulu, you get the drift. Everything you're going to write in, everything up until that Saturday. So you go from Sunday to Saturday, and that's the only thing you're going to hit here. And what I do is just try to keep this in my purse or in my bag with me so I can know and kind of glance at it like, okay, this bill is coming up. Make sure the money is in that account. Make sure that money is in that account. And that's how you do that. So that's that. The next thing I want to talk to you about is savings, like challenges and envelope stuffing. Okay, so remember in my previous episode, it was $3,673.48 left for the month after we paid all the bills, all the expenses, all the giving, all that. So now you're going to do cash stuffing for like other things that's not so important, but you need it. So what I usually do, we do a cushion account. So you have like a cushion or like a dummy account is what I call it, where you just have money sitting because let's say that the water bill is more than I said it would be. So you want to have a cushion sitting in your spending account waiting. So what I usually do is take this number and divide it by 2, 3673.48 divided by 2. So you're going to take $1,836.74 and just put as cushion in bill account. So now you're only working with $1,836.74. So what you can do now is just take an envelope. Now these are just regular envelopes, no rhyme or reason. They just regular envelopes. Cash stuffing is basically for people who, don't do good with money. I started off doing this because it worked. So here, $1,836.74. Okay, that's what you're working with. So you're basically going to go to the bank, take this money out, and you're going to divvy that money up in these envelopes or other things that you may not have included in your budget. So typically 1836.74 divided by, I'm going to do 6. envelopes. So we're basically working with 6 envelopes, and you're gonna get cash and divvy up about $306 per envelope. So now you have your cash, which is $1,836.74. And you're gonna divvy up $306 in each envelope. On the front of the envelope, you're basically gonna write in it what we call sinking funds. Sinking funds are expenses that we may not have every month, or they come once a year, once a quarter, and you just don't want to put them in your regular budget because they only come once a year or twice a year. Like if you pay your car insurance up for 6 months, you want to have envelopes set aside for those sinking funds, because these are things that we just typically don't think about. So I'm going to give you an example from me and my husband's household. We have about 10 of them. But for the sake of the video, I'm just going to do 6. So you would take the remaining of the money, get your cash out, and you're going to stuff each envelope with $306. Okay. So it's going to all have $306 in these envelopes. So the first one would be just some examples of some sinking funds that I have. An iPhone. So I typically don't want to do the thing when everybody know I'm an iPhone girly. I'm gonna get the new iPhone every year, but I don't want to go and add it to my bill, the monthly bill. So you typically save for it because you know every iPhone comes out every September. So what I do is in this folder, remember I told you it's $306 in each envelope. So $306 will go in here. It's gonna go towards my purchase for my iPhone. So every month it's gonna fill up and eventually be enough to go buy an iPhone. So that's all we do. The next one would be bulk items. So we have a Costco membership, and that's something that you don't buy every week, every month, because if you buy toilet paper or tissue, come like 30 rolls, you don't need to go every month. So we do a sinking fund for that. So again, it's going to be $306 in this one. So this is going to be for bulk items at Costco. So that's toilet paper, like I said, maxi pads, so things that we buy in bulk. So $306 is going to go in here for that. The next sinking fund, Christmas. So we're gonna put $306 in here. He has kids. I have a daughter. We like to do a grab bag with the family. So instead of having to worry about at the end of the year how you're gonna pay for stuff or how you're gonna take it out your regular monthly budget, you already have saved a sinking fund for the Christmas fund. So $306 gonna go in there every month. And by the time December comes, just look how much money you'll have. So 306 times 12. Typically, you got over $3,000 that you have designated for Christmas that you don't have to take away from your monthly, budget. And like I say, these things are things that it's gonna be every so often. It's not gonna be every month. That's why they call sinking funds. You're saving for a later purchase. Okay. Vet, have a dog. He requires annual visits, things like that. Those bills get real expensive. So he's in the budget every month for his grooming and food. But I'm talking about vet bills, hospital bills. If he gets sick or something like that, we do a sinking fund for that. So that's for Carter. Oh yeah, hubby. So in addition to his regular money that he spends every week or whatever he want to do with his money, haircuts, vapes, he likes to smoke vapes, whatever he wants to do, car wash, whatever. He gets a envelope or whatever, so he'll have that and he can use it as he want, whatever he want. And then lastly is travel. Now you have all of your sinking fund envelopes. Let me write this over because it looks a little bit sloppy. So this is going to be divvied up to 6 envelopes for 6 sinking funds. And like I said, the first one is the vet for my dog, Carter. He gets 306. Hubby for his extra spending or whatever, he gets 306. Christmas fund, 306. Bulk items from Costco, my iPhone, and travel and vacation. So 1 through 6 each has $306. So you got 306 times 6. And there's your $1,836, which matches this. See how that works? So now you have a 0 base budget. So, and I'm done, guys. Thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions on anything, I hope I was clear. I know it's kind of long, but I just want to make sure you get this. Like I say, the $1,800 is left over from the other expenses. the fixed, the variable, the giving, the investing. And then what we do is divide that by 2. 1836 is going to be sitting in our bill account, spending account, in case those bills that we budgeted for, like if the light bill comes in extra 100 or extra whatever, you want to have a cushion. So it's always money just sitting there for that reason. And then the other ones goes into these sinking funds. All right, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you don't know how to budget, your money won't grow. You have to know how to do the basics in order to succeed. You can't just willy-nilly your money. You have to learn principles. So I'm going to put on the screen a few books that I've read over the years that I've got my skills from and things like that. And just start doing things different. Our mom and dad and they back in the day methods, it don't work for us now. We're in a time right now where every one of our dollars count. You have the tariff increase. You have so much going on. So one thing you want to be able to do is control is your money and your spending. Because if you don't, I don't know what to tell you. So I hope this helped. I hope I went real simple. I know it's some glitches. If you need help, just put me a comment in there and I'll be sure to answer if something wasn't clear. If you want me to do another video on in depth on something, just let me know. I'm open to it. Finance is my background. I know all about it. I've been budgeting for over 20 years. So this is what works. It might look like a lot and overwhelm, but if you just take your time and do it really simple and just focus, I'm telling you, it's gonna change your life. It's gonna change your mindset. One thing I didn't touch on is expense tracking. You definitely got it in your book, in your planner or your budget book. You want to allocate a section where you actually write down every expense you make. Even though you've already allocated it in a category, like I had a coffee item, every time I go to Starbucks, I write it down. I expense track because you want to make sure you got to reconcile at the end. You want to make sure all your expenses and stuff legit match what you said in your budget. Because if I said I'm only spending $50 in Starbucks, but I'm just swiping and not writing down, then that's going to be bad. So you write the date, you write the store, and you write the expense. That's very, very important. So I hope I covered everything in the most simple way. Thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for liking this content.